Guys, after subscribing to this channel, please make sure that you also press the bell icon so that no notification, no new video of mine, any educational video, is missed by anybody.
All right. So we have a case of CA cervix tonight. Again, a very, very important case. These days, oncology is definitely a very important case discussion in your final exams, especially your practical exams. So we are trying to do justice by taking one case at a time. We've already finished off with CA endometrium, even CA vulva has been, brought to attention, and CA ovary, and now we are left with CA cervix. I invite Anshika to please present the case on CA cervix. Yes, Anshika, you can start.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm presenting a case of patient Mrs. X, 58-year-old female, resident of Udhampur, wife of Mr. A, farmer by occupation, and she herself being housewife, belonging to low socioeconomic class by Kuppuswamy scale, Hindu by religion, P3, L3, postmenopausal since 9 years. Her last childbirth was 31 years back.
Okay.
The patient was admitted to our side with chief complaint of postmenopausal bleeding since 15 days and blood-stained vaginal discharge since 25 days.
Okay. So, like I always ask, what are you thinking? What are your DDs in your mind right now, Anshika?
Postmenopausal bleeding can have many causes, starting from the uterus we see. It could be atrophic endometritis. It could be, we should start from the below. It could be atrophic vagina, atrophic cervicitis, or it could be atrophic endometritis. It could be some local cause or any trauma, or it could be any kind of cancer, which includes CA cervix, CA endometrium, and that's it, ma'am.
It could be CIN, pre-malignant lesions can also do that.
Yes,
CIN, endometrial hyperplasia, all these things, polyps. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any growth on the cervix.
Cervix can cause postmenopausal bleeding.
Yes, absolutely. So any local cause or any sinister causes they can cause. So we are trying to now, in that light, then we'll ask her HOPI. Yes.
She had her menopause 9 years back, which was uneventful until 25 days back when she noticed vaginal discharge, which was profuse, foul-smelling, mixed with blood. It was not associated with itching. She also had spotting on her undergarments, which was insidious in onset since 15 days. Earlier, it was only spotting for 2 days, but later it increased in amount, which made her to change her undergarments 2 to 3 times a day. And later, she had to use pad kind of thing. She used cloth per day, 1 cloth per day. It was not associated with passage of clots. It was not associated with pain, itching, or any trauma.
Okay, Anshika, here I'd like to just ask you one thing which is coming in my mind. It was just spotting for 2 days, okay? Then it increased in amount, right? Then she had to change her undergarments 2 to 3 times, and then 1 cloth. Was this cloth soaked? Or was it just spotting or slightly, mildly soaked? What was it?
Ma'am, it was mildly soaked, not fully soaked, so that she'll have to change.
Why is this important? Is because that will give me a tentative idea of what exactly is the amount of bleeding per day. So if you have to say it in ml, how much would you plan to tell me? How much would you think it is?
Ma'am, it would be 10 to 15 ml only, 10 ml, or maybe less than that.
Max to max 20 ml, because partially soaked may you at least require 10 to 20 ml of this thing pad. 80 is very high.
Very high, yes, ma'am.
40 is, somewhere in between. 20 will be 10, 20 ml. I'll just put it down as 10, 20 ml will be decent enough. Okay. Yeah.
She had no history of weight loss. She had no history of multiple partners, smoking, any tropical drug use, no history of chemotherapy, contraceptive use, no history of urinary or bowel disturbance. She had no significant family history of such kind of thing.
Okay, now very important here. What is her age? Our patient's age?
58.
58. Okay, so very important over here will be her history of pap smear. So this should be immediately covered here only, because we're trying to find out we're trying to elude out the DD. So here we have to, when asking about the HOPI, we need to know whether this entire DD, which we thought is there in our mind, that is being elucidated by our history or not. Correct? Yes, so Anshika, over here, I like more questions to be asked, because now you try to, see from my point of view. Okay. I need to know where you're heading forward to, right? For example, no history of weight loss, that means you're trying to directly say about the cancers, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, multiple sexual partners for a patient who is like postmenopausal, And immediately asking that, like the second place, when the very important things have not been discussed,
Okay.
like maybe pap smear, when did she last have it, okay? Or she's had a similar episode before. Tropical drug use, I'll be happier if you say blood thinning agents, huh? And any history of local growth, local lesion before, or any recurrent, what do I say, lesions, recurrent bleeding, recurrent spotting. Has she ever had? Did you tell this thing? This is the first episode?
Yes, ma'am. I mentioned that it was uneventful her whole menopause until just 25 days back.
When did we say that? Okay, fine. The first episode. Okay, no history of any such episode before. So here I'd like to at least have some more DD, which will tell me how to negate these,
The pap smear thing I have written in somewhere in, I think, personal history. I have written it somewhere.
I know that you must have written it, but here it becomes significant. It is significant there also, but it is significant here as well. Here pap smear is not routine. Here pap smear is giving me a lot of information, whether we are thinking in those grounds or not. The examiner is going to test you for these only. Because pap smear is going to give you two very important clues. No pre-malignant lesions and definitely no malignant lesions, which is one of the very important cause of postmenopausal bleeding. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
No history of weight loss? Pap smears? What was it? The history pap smears done recently?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Found? Huh? Not done recently?
No, ma'am. It was not done.
Not done since?
Ma'am, never done.
Never done. Okay. Pap smear, not done. Never done. Okay. Never done. Never done till date. No? Okay. That's important history. Right. So we know that you are thinking on those grounds. Okay. You did say about it when you said DD, but not everyone is going to ask you the DD like I asked you over here.
Yes,
they'll just understand from your history, they're thinking on those grounds or not. Multiple sexual partners is Ada. I'll be rather happier if you would tell me no history of post-coital bleeding. Did you include it here? Because we're just trying to include any sexual trauma or any coital, history, because that is, see what happens in atrophic vaginitis or atrophic cervicitis is she'll have postcoital bleeding because it's so dry, and the moment there is sexual intercourse, there'll be some, bleeding. So I need to, but more than multiple sexual partners. Here I'd like to know no history of postcoital bleeding. That will be a better, correlation. Okay. No history of smoking, no history of tropical drug use, no history of blood thinners. I'll put it out with chemotherapy. Okay. This age, she can be on blood thinners because of multiple problems. It could be hypertension, or it could be some stroke event, maybe just family history. So you never know. So she might be on. And very important here, since she's menopausal since how long?
9 years.
HRT. Very important history, isn't it? I don't know. Topical drug use means okay. You mean around the vagina area?
Yes.
Huh? Okay. Contraceptive use after 9 years of being menopausal is not significant. Okay.
Ma'am, it was significant according to the past history because long OCP use is also one of the risk factors of CS cervix. Very rare risk factors, but it is long OCP use.
But at least see, now just imagine, Anshika, you have not put pap smear history here and you're putting contraceptive use history here. Okay. Now just imagine a very relevant thing is missing and a very rare irrelevant thing is coming forth. So this will, prompt your Viva in a very different direction. Okay. And plus it's going to give the impression to the examiner. Sometimes this is what happens. This is what I call a flow. Going in a flow means talking all the positives, relevant stuff first and trying to just elude out the, irrelevant stuff. If the examiner catches you, tries to ask you, maybe then you can speak. But otherwise, just put the relevant things in front. That's it. Like, for example, see how many I told you, pap smear is important, sexual trauma, sexual history is important, blood thinners, HRT is very, very important, okay? So, we can talk about contraceptive use, but like I said, you can put it where you want to, sexual history or contraceptive history or obstetric history, whatever. You can put it there if you want to give this information. But here, these are the relevant points. So, these were missing there, right? Vaginitis, HRT, we've done, blood thinners, we've done, and topically, I think we've done it all. Yeah. Right. No history of urinary, but this is very good. No significant family history. Okay, fine. Again, we are trying to elucidate any other blood, family symptoms. Yeah. Now tell me, menstrual history is important. Yes.
Her age of menarche was 13 years. She had a regular cycle of 28 days with average flow of 2 to 3 days, using 1 to 2 cloths per day. Her perimenopause phase was uneventful, and her LMP, her last menses was 9 years back.
Okay. And she's never had a pap smear, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Marital history. She is married for approximately 37 years now. She was married at the age of 21 years and had her first child at the age of 22 years. There was no history of multiple partner in either of the partners.
Now this year is looking very correct, Anshika. Okay. History of no history of multiple partners. This right now over here is in a flow. They're talking about a patient who's postmenopausal, Indian, multiple sexual partners right now. Thoda sa, it's not going with the flow. So here I totally agree.